I am Tabitha Njoroge, and I am a young woman, a young Kenyan woman, the Executive Director, Women in Law and Development in Africa, commonly known as AWDF Kenya. And I'm also a member of the Africa Women Leaders Network for Reproductive Health and Family Planning. Yeah, and it's been great actually being a member and also being able to intentionally and in a committed way focus on matters of reproductive health and family planning in Kenya. At a personal level, I've been able to engage a lot with the younger women and even do research on sexual violence, especially in the universities, and just what is it that makes the girls struggle so much around issues of reproductive health. And most of the things I've come across have been issues to do with abortion, as much as we don't like to talk about it, issues to do with access to contraceptives. They have challenges with that, and because sometimes they're forced to live lives and some types of lifestyle that they live dictate that they have to be sexually active because they have to earn an income sometimes from all the wrong sources, because they have to survive and life is tough in campus. Then they don't know how to deal with the whole issue of not getting pregnant, which is really the thing they fear most in campus. Yeah, so at a personal level, I've engaged with a lot of young women. And for me, also as an organization as AWLN, we have worked a lot on policy and legal issues, and we keep questioning ourselves as regards who should legislate on matters of reproductive health and rights, and where is the women's voice, and because it is lacking, why is it lacking? And when you find yourself in a country where the parliament is 80% and above male, then what happens to the issues that are critical to women, issues like family planning and other matters around reproductive health issues? When does it become an issue of urgency, compared to the alcohol bill? When will the Health and Rights Bill become a priority compared to other bills that are being fronted by a male-dominated parliament? And that has been a very big challenge. Of course, along the way as well, while engaging with the younger generation of women, and this is something that has been talked about a lot, especially in the media, it is the manner in which the emergency contraceptive pill is being misused by younger women, because to a great extent they don't understand how it should be used, and they think, as long as I take it and I can keep off pregnancy, that's it. They don't realize the consequences involved in using that contraceptive. We're talking about the younger women who are then the future mothers of the next generation, and the consequences of it can be very bad to their reproductive health. Sometimes they can even make you barren, which is a very big risk. And as to how we deal with that, and as to how deaf and blind we are to that, that remains a very big concern in this country, even in terms of policy matters. I also think about information, education and communication, top-bottom approach, where we say we are doing policy level work. It's government saying we set up policies, we have a ministry of public health that is dealing with reproductive health issues. But when you go to the grassroots and meet the community women, you find they don't have information. I'm reminded of a case in point that was last year, December, when we had a woman who was suffering from cervical cancer. She had malnutrition, she had anemia, and she had just given birth to her baby, and through cesarean section, of course, because of the cervical cancer. And when we went to visit her home, as we were trying to assist her with medical care and, of course, access to proper health, we realized she had about 7 children. 7 children, and her firstborn was 15 years old. This woman was 30 years of age. So you ask yourself, does it mean she gave birth to her firstborn as 15 years of age? But of course, then you look at the spacing between 15 and this 2-year-old baby, then you can imagine how closely, distributed the children are, and how dangerous that is even for her system. And when we spoke to the women in that community, we realized that most of them do not even believe in using contraceptives, let alone caring to have access to them. Because they say these things, when you take them, you're likely to develop fibroids. You're likely to get growths in your uterus. So the kind of information they have about contraceptives in itself informs whether they will seek out for them or not seek out for them. Then also a big question that kept popping up was, okay, well, assuming this lady had information regarding reproductive health and what she needs to do to be able to access contraceptives, then the question is, that begs an answer is, does she have access to these contraceptives? Most likely no, because for her, food on the table is a bigger priority, because these things won't be readily available for her to use them in the rural areas where she is. Then assuming also she had access to the contraceptives, does she have negotiating power to be able to convince her husband that, honey, we need to plan our family, we need to have 2 and not 7 children? Most likely she does not have that power. And then what does that mean for her? And even assuming she had the power, then we talk about the access, and information as to which one is good for you, which is not good for you, which one you get where, which one will cost you how much, which one will last you how long. All that information is important. And we also realize a lot of violence, especially in the rural communities, meted against women who want to plan families by their husbands, so that you find women don't have any power to determine and to decide as to whom exactly, as to how many children they can be able to have, which is a challenge in itself. So it's a very big, let me call it, box of problems that women have to face. And many times, instead to men speaking, they will tell you that women need to plan their families. And you ask yourself, it takes 2 to make a baby. So it should take 2 to plan a family and to decide on how many children and after how many years they should be able to have those children. Yes, that has been the big challenge. In terms of moving forward for me, I think the one thing I really want to do is to focus on younger women, because I feel it is a forgotten generation in our society. And every time we talk about women needs, women family planning needs and all that, we tend to think about the married couples. We think about the older woman. We don't think about this younger woman who for real is facing a lot of issues, and we can't afford to ignore them. And if we have to change the society, we have to also target this woman who will tomorrow be the mother. Tomorrow will become the married woman. And if we can equip her with information right now, if we can build her capacity right now, then we will be influencing her decisions tomorrow positively.